Wrapping up the 2025 QMJHL entry draft here from Quebec City, Scott MacIntosh joined by GM Cam Russell and assistant GM Allie MacDonald. Cam, let's talk about the overall draft. Was it a successful draft for the Mooseheads?
Well, I think everybody feels like it's a successful draft in June. Everything looks wonderful and rosy, but no, we're very happy that we got some of the players that we were surprised to get at the positions that we got them. We had a couple players ranked very high that slipped through, and we were ecstatic that they were there when we were picking.
Yeah, first and foremost, Malik Italia coming to the team third overall. Bit of a surprise that he was there at 3. How happy were you to get him, and tell us about him as a player?
Yeah, I mean, beyond excited. We thought about possibly moving up. At the end of the day, it just didn't quite work out. Very surprised when he was there and thrilled, jumped all over it. He's going to fit right into the lineup. He's big, he can skate like the wind, he handles the puck. He's got tremendous offense to his game. He just plays a complete hockey game, and like I say, he'll step right in and he'll play good minutes for us.
Allie, maybe talk about how much work goes into a draft from the scouting department and how it all comes together on these final 2 days.
Well, I don't think it comes together in the final 2 days. In terms of scouting, that's done all winter. I think the last month is where we've had 2 and 3 meetings a week, some meetings, phone meetings, and start putting it all together. The kids from Quebec, the kids from Nova Scotia. And you are always twigging, you go home and you think about it. We have our analytics guy that will give us some information, makes us rethink maybe where the position should be. So I think it's a little bit of movement, nothing major, but for the last 4 or 5 weeks, it's been 2 or 3 times a week just playing with the list.
Yeah, well, kind of an exciting name that you take with the 21st overall pick, one that maybe not many were familiar with, back home. It's Cameron Manila, an American D. You go back to the blue line again. What's the thought process behind adding another defenseman, and is this just a case of a player that is so good you got to take him there?
It's just you're taking the best available player at that pick, and with our ranking system, we felt that those were the best 2 defensemen in the draft. So I mean, to be able to get Malik at 3 and Cam at 21, like I say, we're thrilled, we're excited, and it just really shores up the backside of our blue line for the future.
Yeah, Allie, maybe you can tag along on that. Your thoughts on Manila?
Yeah, I think he's, you try to always relate to players you have on your own team, but he brings a game like Brady Schultz sort of brings, a good mobile, all-around defensive game. And, I think Cam would agree with this, that, when you start building teams, you got to sort of build from the back up. And a good defense goes so far. And I think that was our goal by going with 2 defensemen in the first 2 picks.
Certainly a strong D-core now with the returning players along with the additions here at the draft. But scoring, obviously something that you wanted to look at, and I think maybe you found that in Paolo Gilberto Jr., who you take with your 3rd pick.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, once again, here's another great hockey player that if this was last year, we probably wouldn't be talking about, but with the NCAA rule change, there's some excellent hockey players that have jumped into this draft, and he's one of those guys. He's a guy that does play a full 200-foot game, and he's got elite skill and scoring. So just another guy. We were trying to move up to get him, and we couldn't believe that he was still there when we picked him, and just thrilled to get him.
Yeah, you could clearly see that you were moving and shaking on the dance floor out there today, and making some moves and unsuccessful in some other moves. Is there anything down the line that maybe you're expecting to do to add to this roster before training camp in terms of maybe more veteran players?
Well, I mean, obviously, we don't have any 20-year-olds right now, so that's something we're looking at. We do have the European draft in a couple of weeks, so with that draft, we're able to bring in 2 more European players. We've got a lot of returning players. So, we'll be very careful when it comes to adding like the Europeans and the overage players, because we feel very comfortable and very confident in the group that we have here now, and we want those guys to play. But, we'll take a good long look at this, and it'll make for a very competitive training camp in August.
Yeah. Lots of fresh names, Allie, to get used to here, but we know that Malik Latalia and Jaden Napon, best friends growing up. But did that play into your decision to, one, knowing that Jaden's a good player, but does it help to know that they have that friendship?
I think it probably helped. I didn't know that information, but we find good hockey players and we find good people. And like I say, we usually don't go down the line for friends very often, but it's an added plus, so we're very happy with it.
A couple of players from Antigonish, though. Do you have anything to do with that?
Well, let's say I knew their grandfathers, but no, I mean...
You coached them, didn't you?
The grandfather, but...
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but like I say, it's these players well, and a lot of these kids that we draft today will become affiliates to start, and it's always good to have some affiliates close to at the Halifax. So need a player on an emergency basis, it's pretty quick to get that.
And one of those players is Sam Ryan. The family very well. We all do, but a great player as well, right, Cam?
Yeah, no, excellent player. We saw him down in the States this year. Allie saw him last summer, raved about him. Him and Darren Sutherland watched him. Tremendous skill, scoring touch. He needs to grow a bit, mature. He's coming back, and he'll play in Dartmouth this year, and depending on how things go with us. But yeah, we're thrilled to have a guy like Sam be able to pick him in the later rounds like that.
Yeah. Hey, well, congratulations to you both and the entire staff on another great draft, and looking forward to seeing these players in August.
Oh, we all are.
Yeah. All right. That's your wrap up from the 2025 QMJHL entry draft here in Quebec City at the Videotron Center. Scott MacIntosh, looking forward to seeing you all at training camp in August.